Yeah, hello, good morning, everyone. Trust we can hear me. Sure.
Yes, we can hear you. We'll start soon.
All right.
Good morning, everyone. So, a very warm welcome to those of us joining us today. And I know we're joining from many different locations. So, we truly appreciate you taking your time to be here.
And assignment méjì náà ti fún wọn.
So, for those of us new to our meetings, just a few housekeeping items. So, let's keep our microphones muted unless you are speaking or unless you want to speak. So if you want to speak, kindly raise your hand and then I will mute you. Then if you don't want to make use of the microphone, you can simply chat by using the chat or by reacting through the Zoom tools. Okay. So today we'll be diving into a topic that to us, especially if you are into web development and web design, and that is introduction to web design. And to guide us through this important discussion is Mr. Olosho Joshua, who is a highly skilled and versatile software developer with an expertise across multiple programming languages, technologies, including PHP, MySQL, JavaScript, Python, React, and React Native. So beyond programming, he has a strong background in cloud computing, house electrification, agile workflow processes, business management, software automation testing, WordPress, Odoo ERP, and the like. So he's very versatile and very skilled in those. So he's committed to continuous learning and professional growth. He also holds a master in information technology and bachelor's degree in electrical and electronic engineering, along with building web applications and structured query language. So he has also completed a cloud computing course from Google, further strengthening his expertise in the field. And he also serves as a senior software developer at McGeorge Consulting Limited, and he has played a key role in numerous successful projects, ranging from online school management systems to farm management software to agricultural finance frameworks and investment management applications. So let's welcome Mr. Joshua to this meeting as he takes over.
All right. Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to this class. This class will be a very impactful and insightful one and a learning curve for most of us that want to become a professional web developers. All right. Starting from the last week class, Saturday. Please, if you can hear me, just put it in the comment section.
This meeting is being recorded.
If you can hear me, just put it in the comment section that you can hear me, so that I can know that we are all following. If you're on Zoom, just put it on the chat. If you're on YouTube, just put it on the chat that you are with me and you can follow, so that I can know that I'm talking to an audience. I'm expecting all right. Okay, I can see Green Consola YouTube. Yes, thank you on Zoom. Items. I can see that on Zoom. All right. Okay, I want to check YouTube to see if anybody put any message in this class. All right, so no problem. I will start. All right, so the class today we are looking at introductions to web design and UI UX. Last week we looked at introductions to web development, like what it entails to be a developer. So look at what it entails to be a developer, the history of the web design, why web came into place. I'm not trying to do a recap of what happened last week, why they were using web. We'll look at stories of how web comes into place and the rest. Web was developed. The idea of web started with basically researchers. I think it was talked about last week. It was started with basically researchers who wanted to know how to communicate their journal. If, for instance, there was an issue that in the olden days where someone published a journal, another person will also go and publish that same journal without them knowing, and then there will be confusion with who first published that journal. So the idea of having a central place where everybody can have access to once it's published, everybody in the whole world will have access to, and that was from the idea of web, so that we can connect all ourselves. Before we now look at advancement in the web, web can collect from. We're not talking about web 3 as at that time. We're talking about web, the advent of okay, yeah, Web 2, the advent of where web can collect forms, submit applications, those are advent of Web 2. Then Web 3 is now talking about decentralizations, blockchains, and then how we can have everything decentralized. Currently from the idea of finance now, we have central banks. Every currency goes through central banks to be able to get printed and printed. But now in Web3, we are looking at decentralizing everything. Let it be a chain where nobody has control or power over. And that's what Web3 was talking about. All those things were discussed last week. If you have attended the class, you will have known what and why, how web become revolutionized to this current stack of web. So today we are not looking at history, we are not looking at what who and who does what to make web work. Today we are looking at how to be a web designer, how to be a web developer professionally, and how to start. When we are in secondary school, we do introductions to any topic, you still do introductions. They'll be telling us that when we get to university, they will stop introductions. Till I finish my undergraduate days, even in 500 level, we still did introductions. So, oh, yeah. So everything will always start with introductions. Without introduction, there's no way you can go into the advance of it. So we are going to start because of I know some of us we are gurus, we've already done some of all these things. But it does not mean that you won't be able to learn one or two things. Yeah. Please just drop on the comment if you are following with me. I need reaction from Zoom, I need reaction from Facebook, from YouTube too. I need reaction from both ends. I can only see reaction from Zoom. So please, if you are following, just put reactions that you are following so that we know that I'm speaking to an audience. All right. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the thumbs up. All right. Okay. So, all right. To hip, yeah, I can see you. Thank you for the thumb up. Adewale, thank you for the thumb up. All right. So, in today's class, we are going to look at introductions to web designs and UI UX. So this introduction is towards understanding user experience. Before now, if you want to design a website, it's just to go to your code editor, you edit what you want to do, you put in the tags and the rest, and then blah blah blah. You are done with your designs, and no matter what it comes up, so far as doing the work, it is okay for the productions. But those years are like if you are designing in 2000s, in 2001, in 2002, in 1995, in 1996. If you are a developer at that time, people will say, "Wow, what a lovely job you have done." But starting from 2010 to these generations, web design has gone beyond that. Web design has gone beyond you writing a code and then it works. No, that's not what we want to see. We don't want to see that it works. That's not what we want to see. We want to see usability of it. We want to see how user can say, "Oh, I'm using your website without need for any special aid." UX is also incorporated into design, and that is what we are going to uh, look at today. Right. My name is from the introduction. So my name is Olosho Joshua Damilare. I'm a full stack developer at here in McGeorge Consulting. All right. So the course outline. What we're going to look at today, we are going to look at what is web design, What is UI UX? Importance of web design and UI UX. Web design versus web development. You will have heard the time where is it web design you want to do, is it web development you want to do. In today's class, you are going to see more clarifications into that. So we are going to look at into some basic of HTML structures. I think last week we did into this, so we're not going to all these things in details. We are going to look at CSS styling, basics of it. We did this to also in last week, so we are just going to paraphrase on all these things. So we are now going to go into our core testing, UI UX design principles. So we are going to look at UI UX wireframing and tools. We are going to look at mobile first and responsive design. This is one of the major hot cake core area in web development because um, a survey that was taken out of all the website, out of all the devices that access the website. I think mobile device has over 70% of access to website, while laptop have maybe like 25, then the remaining percentage is towards TVs and tablet. So if you want to become a professional mobile developer, you must know what is mobile first design. There's no way you want to become a designer. There's no way you want to become a website developer that you won't know what is mobile first design. That is very, very important to your professionalism. All right, so I still want more reactions. If you are following me, just put a thumbs up, a reactions on the page so that I will know that you are following. Then on YouTube, I don't know if there is issue on YouTube. Please, if there is issue, you can put it on the chat because I'm not seeing your reactions on YouTube. Please, let's put it on the chat. Let's know that it is an engaging class so that I know I'm speaking to an audience. All right, thank you, Ade Dolapo Ogunleye. Sorry if I didn't pronounce your name very well. Sorry. Thank you. I can see your thumbs up on Zoom. Taib, thank you. Miriam, thank you. Pius, thank you. All right. I still want feedback on the YouTube channel. I'm not getting any feedback on YouTube channel. Please, let's technical support. Please let's check our YouTube if there's any issue. All right. So we are going to look at color theory in UI UX design. We're going to look at UI component and pattern. We are going to look at accessibility in web design. This is one of another big field to look at when you are coming to web design, accessibility design. There's a difference between writing a good site and it's accessible. And accessible is variety because well, when you are designing, you are looking at people that are blind to read your site. You are looking at people that can't hear to read your site. You are looking at people that have some physical challenges to read your site. So they are standard. They are standard in designing website when we are looking at accessibility because there are machines that will read your website. For instance, people that are blind that want to read your website, there are some extensions on browsers like Chrome browsers or Firefox. They have extensions to help the blind to read. And if you are not following standard of design accessibility website, all those extensions will be able to read your website to the blind. So there are all these things we are going to look at how to do all these things. So this accessibility of web design is a full course. If you want to go and do maybe if you are going to all this Cambridge, all this MIT school now, like it's a course on its own. Like you go and read accessibility web design. Like when you go and study, those of us doing mechanical engineering, those of us doing computer science, those of us doing mechanical, those of us in physics department, all those. So you can go and study. When you study that course, physics or mathematics in your respective department, is a course like that. Accessibility in web design because it has to do with a whole lot of stuff designing accessibility web design because most of the people that use this are medical professional sites. If you are designing websites for hospital now, that you know that people that are visually impaired will read it. They are standard in designing those websites so that they can be able to read it. Was you, I can see you. Yeah, thank you so much. All right, please let's bring the interaction tool on the YouTube too. All right, so we also look at UI UX wireframing tools. We also look at infographics. We have Font Option that help us with infographics. We have so many other. We have Bootstrap also have their own infographics. We have Modip. They are also big players in this. We have Teamify. We have so many infographics, this thing. Then we also have the custom made one, which is the UI UX we are going to look at. Then we are going to wrap up this section, this in this class with final thought and best practices on how to go about designing website. Designing website will be a very, very lot, but there are some minimal best practice that you can also follow so that you can enable you to achieve your design in minimum require time. All right. All right, so I'm just going to dive into it. Yeah, so the first sections I'm going to talk, then I'm going to allow us. So most of us that will have questions, please let's jot our questions down and then let's start putting it on the chat so that when I open the floor for thought for discussions, the way the class is going to go from me talking for maybe like for 30 minutes, then I'm going to open the floor for us to interact with all my discussions so far, then I continue again till we end the class. All right, so I'm going to start with what is web design. All right, so let's welcome everyone again to the course itself. So, what is web design? We've been hearing the word web design, the new oil money in town, the new gold rush, um, the new things that everybody is trying to go into. So, web design, fundamentally, they are in last class. Fundamentally, is just for you to be able to structure your creativities and put it on the online platform. So when you hear online, there's no way you can have an online platform without the web design. So there is look at the word web design. There is website, there is web infrastructures, there is web server. So there's so many terms that are related to web. So, but in all of it, there is no way all those general terms can come to visualization without the design. So that's why we now have the word web design. So web design visualizes everything that makes a website to work. So website is everything: web infrastructure, web server, web networking, all those things. So website is all the things. So now we are not taking the subside of that website, which is now web design. So all those things, if you network everything and nobody can see your network, mean that you have not done any work. And so the web designer has a very, very cogent role in making web to actually work. Yeah. All right. So what are the things that we look at it in web? Web design includes both visual and functional aspects of it. So the reactions, if I click a button change colors, a button pop up, all those kind of functionality is also involved. It encompasses layout, topography, colors, graphics, and interactive elements. For instance, if I go to fill a form and I fill the form, I let him I just click submit and it just stays there. It doesn't make any interactions. I don't know what to do next. So you must make sure that so all these interactions you see when you go to any online platform are encompassed in web design. Okay. All right. So what is UI UX? All right. So what is UI UX? UI UX, that's the user interfaces, and then we have the user experience. Okay. So like I said, before now, if you are developing in the 80s, in the 90s, in the early 2000s, you might not need to know anything about user experience, all this stuff. You might not need to know all this stuff. I just go, oh, maybe your local vendor that is near you that is selling biscuits, or all those, just say, oh, I need an online presence too. I want to be selling my goods online. You just go to your code lab. You don't want to use all those ready-made store this thing. Just go to your code lab. You write some simple HTML structures, and then you put a div padding, and then you put your input feed. Then they can be able to see the goods. You don't know whether it is fine or not. You don't care. You just do all those design like that, and then you submit, and then everybody will be calling you, man, crazy design. This design is your development is okay because it's actually doing the work. People can come to that platform, see what your local vendor is selling, and know the price, and everybody is all right. Everybody is enjoying the site. But in this nowadays site, your site has to be lovely. If someone comes to your site and it looks shabby, nobody wants to stay in your site. Nobody wants to look at anything to do. So everybody wants to look at site that is interactive, colorful, beautiful, and that is what makes modern days developer differ from the 1990s, and that's what it comes to UI UX. That's the major role UI UX is playing. And the basic core feature of UI UX is to look at an aesthetic. Look at how the button looks, look at how the menu looks, look at how the typography looks, the color, and the images. While user experience talks about navigations, it talks about navigations, how you navigate through the um, website, how you navigate through the website. So I'm going to show us an app now to explain this point very, very much well. I'm going to show us an app. So for instance, if I go to, yeah, all right. So if I come to this site now, and I want to show us two sites. I want to show us two sites. Oh, so if I come to this site now, this one now, look at this site. Once I come into this site, it shows me welcome to this, and then I have the options to. All right, so I have the options to close this model. All right, so I have this option to close this model, accept, so it's closed. Can you see how the way the model fade out when it was closing? So those are the experience that we are talking about. So that the way that model fade out when it was closing, it's called the experience we are giving the user. Can we see this? Let's put it in the chat if you can see what I'm displaying. The site, let's just put it in the chat that we are following. You can see it so that I will know that I'm talking to an audience. Yeah. Hello, let's just put I can see the flock site. Okay, you can see the flock site. That's good. All right, so look at the flock site again. Oh, can you see the way the way the texts are going away? These are called experience now. If you look, if you also notice when I move my cursor, you can see the way those stars are running away, like they are giving spaces. Anytime I move my cursor to those spaces, these are called experiences that we are giving the users now. These are called experiences that we are giving user when they come to my site. No, if for instance I'm trying to look for a boring site that I will display boring, I will display a boring site now, so that we'll compare and contrast the effect of UI UX on the website. Okay, so this experience now makes this user to want to come and visit this site more. Can you see the experience that this site is giving the user that is here? Oh shoot. Okay. The other side is still loading up. So we can see the experience. So all this experience that you are seeing, that the way these stars are moving away, the way the texts are changing, you can see that it takes some time to fade in, are called experience, are called user experience. So these are experience that we are giving the user to have on the site when they visit our site, so that our site will look boring and on people user will not be able to appreciate the work of our site. Okay, so those are the kind of things that UI UX is doing on a design for us. Okay, so if you scroll down, let's see, continue experiencing this experience. So you see the way this picture is. These are called experience. And okay, the way this picture is are called UI UX. They are called the user interfaces. Now you can see the interfaces. Interface is different from experience. Experience is what you, from the word experience, what you relate with. Why user interface is what you see. So what we are seeing now is a design of the interface that was well used. You can see how the way the color hits. So while I'm talking about interface, so let's look at this other site now. All right. So let's look at this other site. So look at this other site. It was okay. It also has a bit of interface and design, but I will still bring up my print now. Let me go to my account, open an account. All right, so look at this one now. Look at this way this form is now. And compare with, let me create an account here. All right. So look at, if you are in the class, just say yes, I'm in the class. And I'm following what the flow of the user experience. So look at this experience I'm having here. So this form and this form, which one look more appealing to, yes, thank you, Doctor of, oh, okay, Doctor of Trenches. Please, let's use a good name when we are logging in. Yeah, oh, I can see, all right, that's good, that's good. I did you, thank you. I can be thank you. Yeah. So let's look at this form now. Look at the way this looking presentable and appealing to feel. Even you that want to fill this form, you'll be able to feel it very fine. But look at this interface. It was modular and the person did not consider user experience. Now they have done an interface for user, but the experience in filling this form is kind of too shabby to compare to the other one that we are coming from. All right. So I think there is a pool submitted on the. Let's click the pool. Let's put our reaction on the pool that was submitted on Zoom. Okay, so these are what is terminology. These are the differences. So when you are building a project for someone and you are telling the project, someone says you do it for 50K and someone is saying you do it for 500K. This is where the difference comes in. This is a project that someone just did. Just put a form, put a color and left it. And this is another project someone did. Look at where WhatsApp is. Look at where he put his WhatsApp icon. He put accept, he put chat. Look at the way the design comes out alive. And these are the experience we are talking about when you are designing for a user. Okay. All right. So I've extensively talked about the user experience and the user interfaces. All right. Okay. Okay. So the next phase. Okay. So we are going to look at advantages, the advantages of designing. Okay, the advantages of web design and uh, the advantages of web design and UI UX. So we are going to look at the advantages of designing a website and then using UI UX. All right. Okay, so all right, so we have here it enhances users' experience, it improves accessibility and readability, affect brand and then credibility and conversion rate, support SEO and mobile responsiveness. All right. Okay, so let me explain each of these components one after the other. Enhances user experience and engagement. All right. Okay, so let me go back to that example I shared again. If I come to this site now, let me go back to the home page. If I come to this site now, let me go back to this one home page. The first site I'm still showing is not as if the experience is poor. The experience is not poor, but I just want to highlight something. Okay, so if I come to this site now, I tend to stay more in this site. That's engagement now. I tend to stay more in this site because of the site is engaging me by maybe playing with the star and the rest. But if I come to this site now, apart from the slider that is here, the slider is also engagement. So don't get me wrong. The slider is also engagement. After I see the slider, I think just two slider, I tend to leave. Then come down to this. All right. Okay. All right. So please let's put it in the group. If I'm too fast, please let's know. If I'm too fast, let me come down. All right. Okay. So apart from the slider on this page, if you look at this other scrolling is also engaging too, and then scrolling down. So when you come down, you can see this. You can see the progressions of this particular site. But unlike this site now, I have to when I come to this site, when I notice that this star was playing around, I stayed there playing around with the star first. You see, it engaged me. It engaged me to play around with the stars. You know, when I got bored of the stars, I've spent almost some minutes here playing with the stars. Okay, okay. So now I scroll down. You can see this one to engage me and the rest. So you can see the engagement now. I'm having from the two sides, two different experience and the rest. So those are what the importance of That's what the importance of UI UX does. The next thing is improve accessibility. Okay, it improve accessibility. All right. So when you look at the two sites, especially when we want to sign up, let me go back to the site. Okay. So once I come to this site now, I can see register, I can see login. There is no need for me to call anybody that I want to register or I want to log in. I just click on this form and I create my account. Then this other form too has a great accessibility too. Because once I come to the site, it shows me my account. But now, the difference between this and that is the labeling. Now, when we are talking about accessibility now, some people might not relate well with my account. It might be different from everybody. But you can look at the differences between the two sites now. When I saw my account, if I'm not a tech somebody, I might not know that my account is supposed to be where I should create my account. But either way, if you scroll down, I can see create account. So I can click here to create the account. Now, look at the two different accessibility of it. Without them being in a strategic positions, I won't be able to access where to create my account and the rest. And that's what accessibility talks about. Okay, so would that have affect branding and credibility and conversion rate? All right. So if you look at the two sides, you can see that we can be able to identify their brand. Such like when you go to the Unilorin site now, you know that this is for Unilorin. When you go to any site, you know who owns it. But if the site is not well arranged, maybe when you log into a site and you see the name, you see the logo of the site that is talking to about, and that is what design does for you. The SEO. SEO is also very, very important in web development. If you go to Google now, if you go to Google, if you go to Google and you type Unilorin, if I go to Google and I type Unilorin, so sorry. If you go to Google now, you type Unilorin. So can you see everything on this page talks about Unilorin? Can you see everything here talks about Unilorin? Can you see? And that's the work of that's the work of that's the work of SEO. So if I come here and I type maybe something that is not optimized, let's look for something that is not optimized. Um, let's look at something that is not optimized currently. Let's type the U Inspire for instance. U Inspire. Okay, I think U Inspire is also optimized. Let's look at. Can anybody give me any word on the group? Maybe any brand. Let's look at. Uh, okay, let's look at words that don't have good optimizing. Let's look at Oguayo block industry. Oguayo block industry. Okay, so can we see now that is speaking from Ogun, speaking from, and definitely there's an Oguayo block industry here in Ilorin, but it's not picking it's not picking its own. And someone has given me, thank you, Akabi, Victoria. So let's look at what academic Victoria has said. So let's look at it on Google. All right, so let's look at it now. So you can see, and I believe this bakery is in Loring here. But if you look at it, because it's not optimized, the SEO is not done. You can see that we can't find anything that relates to it on YouTube. So what design also helps you. You can see all these pictures. So if I go back to the U Inspire now, let me go back to the U Inspire. Okay, let me go back to Unilorin. So if you go back to Unilorin, you can see image coming, you can see things coming. It's because of a nice design. Can you see all these things? So it's because of all these things are designed properly when it was being implemented, and that's why the SEO could be can be optimized for the particular uh, for this particular website. Okay, so that is what SEO talks about. All right. So I'm going to go for, okay, let me take the last slide for this section. So before I open the platform for us to discuss what we have learned so far. All right. So the last slide for this section talks about web design and web development. So you have been hearing the term web design, you have been hearing the term web development. What is different? Actually, there's nothing much different. You can be a web designer, you can be a web developer, and still be doing similar job and role. But the key things that you might just look at, the difference is just about what you are doing. So as a web designer, you are in charge of, your focus is on visualization. You are more of the development. So the way each layout will look like, what will be, how the button will look like, that is a function of the web designer. While for a developer, his focus is on how will my code work. How does my code work? That is the headache of a developer. How does my code work? What's the functionality of my code? Then, what are the available tools that the designer uses? The designer uses Figma, uses Adobe SD, and the rest. Why you as a developer, once you have that screen, VS Code display, you're already a developer. You have supply terms, all these things were mentioned in last class. You have brackets, you have Atom, there are so many code editors. Once you are writing your code, you're already a developer. So what are the languages that is common to both of them? Designer usually uses, they don't need to know more than HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. That's all that a designer needs to know. If you're a web designer, that's all you need to know. You just need to know how to use HTML, how to use CSS, and how to use JavaScript. But you, as a developer, you must know how to use server scripting. So we have several server scripting languages, such as JavaScript itself is a server scripting language. You're now looking at Node, Express, we are looking at all those ones. Those are server scripting languages. So we now have PHP, we have Python, we have .NET, that is C sharp. Those are server speaking language. So those are the things that a developer you need to know. So those are just the different. So majorly, if you're a developer, you're already a designer in suit like that. But you can be a designer and not be a developer if you're not doing all those server languages and the rest. You can just focus towards your design on facets and the rest. Okay, so I'm going to allow us for 10 minutes interactions before we go to core development. Because when we go now, we're going to open our code and start writing some little code and looking at some further information. So I'm going to open the floor. So if you have anything you want to say, whether on YouTube or on Zoom, so I want you to signify so that your mic can be unmuted or you can drop a message. If you have anything before I proceed on the class. Yeah. If you have anything you want to say, or should I proceed? All right, so I want to believe that there's nobody that have any contributions.
I have one.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Wafiyat Isa, you can unmute.
Okay.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Can you hear me, sir? Good morning, sir.
Yeah, you can hear you. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Can you hear? Yes.
Now, my question is that what are we going to be learning in this class? Is it web development or is it web design? Or are we going to be doing the both? We are going to learn both together. Or are we going to learn just web development or just web design?
Okay. All right. So, you want to take that? No, I should take that. So I think the title of this course is web development. So definitely you are learning the two. Like I said in my last in this point start I'm presenting that if you're a web developer, there's no way you want to become a web developer that you're not a web designer. So once you're a web developer, you're also a web designer. But you can be a web designer and not a web developer. So if you're a web developer, you're also a web designer. You are both. But if you're a web designer, you can be a web designer and not a web developer. But according to this course title, like the course title is called web development. So definitely you are learning to become a web developer. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. It answers my question.
All right. All right. So the next.
Latifa, you are raising your hand before. Okay, I guess you can continue.
Okay. I think Ade Dola said, what is the difference between product design, web design, and UI UX? Yeah, okay. So, all right. So, a product designer, all right. Okay, let's start with the first one you mentioned, product designer. So, let's look at an applications now. So, let me try to. Okay, so let me look at these applications. So, look at this application. Let me log into this application. So, this is the function. This is the real work of a product designer now. So, this application is meant for assessing. Uh, for user to be able to transact their cryptocurrency to invest and the rest. So now look at this design now. So as a product designer, right, you are the one that will come out with the concept of how the platform will work. Okay, so let me try to see if I have access to another cryptocurrency site. So another cryptocurrency site. How far? I don't think I have access to it anymore. Okay, okay, switch. Uh, okay, if I don't have access to it, let's look at another application then. So let me use another application if I don't have access to a similar, if I don't have access to a similar project. So let's look at another project. Okay, so I don't, all right, I have access to this one. All right, so let's look at these two products now. These are two different products. I would have loved to show you similar products, but they are two different products. All right, so as a product designer, you are the one that will tell us that for this project, so we want a platform where there's a between product design and UI UX, so don't mix it up. So a product designer will tell us that in this project, I want a platform that allow users to transact their cryptos, which will involve them to have transactions. So as a designer, you're not going to design that there should be a tab for as a UI UX designer now. You go and design a tab for transactions, not the work of product designer. Product designer will just say there should be a transaction module. You go and design the transactions. The product design will say there should be a KYC. For instance, in this other project, there's no KYC here. There's no KYC here. But the product designer will be the one that will say there should be KYC. So as a UI designer, you are not going to design the flow for KYC. But the person that will tell that there should be KYC is the product designer. That will say there should be a KYC module. The product designer will say there should be a wallet module. That's product design. Trust you are following. The product designer will say there should be a wallet module. So as a UI designer, you go and design the flow for a wallet. If you look at this, there's no wallet here because the product designer for this project does not need wallet here. So you can see. So what the product designer needs is a table of matches that is going on and the rest. Okay, there's no match this week. So that's why there's all of them having zero, all of them are playing international matches. Now I can see 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So now that's the function of product designer. I want a table that shows match reality. That's the major difference. While web designer is one that will design what UI UX are design. So don't worry, we speed the work now. So under web design, there's now people that are focusing on UI UX and people that are focusing on front end. Okay, so that's where you are still bringing your three people that you mentioned now. I've separated product design. Hope that is clear. I want to believe that that is clear. So now, web design, inside web design, there is UI UX and there is front end developer. So I want to make you to understand your question very well. I want to believe that I want you to confirm that. So I want to believe that you understand. Okay, yeah, it's okay. Okay. So now that's product design. So now for web designer, we split into two again. There's people that do UI UX, there is front end developers inside web design. I'm not talking about web developer. You know, I say web developer encompasses all. So there is UI UX and there is front end developer still inside web design. Don't miss the terminology hub. So UI UX are people that are focused on using Figma and Adobe XD to design this interface that you are seeing now. This particular interface that you are seeing now. Those are they go and design it like a graphics kind of stuff. They go and design it. Those are people that are doing UI UX. While front-end developer who is inside web design will be the one that will write the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript code to see it in this form. I hope that explain your concerns, right? Uh, okay. Yes, thank you, Ogunleye, for your response. Okay, so is there any other questions? Hello, is there another question? Okay, so I can proceed, right? Moderator, I can proceed.
And proceed.
All right, thank you. All right, so I'm going to go into the next sections of this class. I'm going to be going to the next section. We are going to be going to the next section in this class, which will require us to do some a bit of okay. 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 All right. So we are going to go to the next sections of this class. So which requires us to all right. Okay. So the next section of this class talks about basics of HTML structures and basics of HTML structures. Okay, so I know in last class there was a talk about this, and this class is not is a live coding class. So we are expected to be joining this class with your system, so that you can code along. So I'm going to be sharing my VS Code screen. Okay, so I'm going to share a folder first. Let me create a folder first. So I know that we are not new to using Windows. are not new to using computer, rather, that's what I want to say. Right. We are not new to using computer. Okay. So we are not new to using computer. So oh, all of us are joining with our system. So please, I want you to go to your uh, I want you to go to your computer right now and create a folder. So trust you can see my own folder. I've created my own folder. So if you are joining with your system, so just follow along with me. So create a folder. So all right, can I continue? Have we created our folder? I should give us some time to set our system up. Let me give us so like like 2 minutes or thereabout to set our system up. So create a folder. All right, so I'm going to give us like 2 minutes to set up our system. Okay, all right. Okay, I can see that some of us are already saying we are done. All right. Okay, so we'll start very soon now. Let us give allowance for others soon. I want to start next by 10:55. I'll start. I think handful of us should already set our system up. All right, can we hear me? Hello, moderator. Am I ready?
Yes, you are.
Okay, all right. So let's proceed. So I believe we have created our folder. So when working with HTML and CSS, there are file-based applications. Most applications are file-based, and they have different um, ways in which application is being built. So we have some files that are binary. Then we have one uh, that they require compilations before they work. But uh, basics of HTML is a file-based. Uh, basics of HTML is a file-based uh, development. Trust you can hear me. I can see some people say they can't hear me. Can we hear me?
Yes,
If you
we
can
can.
hear me, just put it on the group. Yeah. All right. So it's a file-based. So I'm going to. Okay. Right. Thank you. Adedeji. Yeah. All right. So if you are building a web, so I'm going to start since we are looking at structures. So I'm going to give us for passing. So now if you are building a web, you require you and all these things was taught in last class. So I'm not going to be explaining all those things, inline styling, external styling, so all those last class. It was taught in last class. So I want to believe that we are coming from those knowledge. So let me just deep dive into it. So, but generally, if you want to host any web, we always like to name our own file indexed. So let me open this file on my code editor. So we always love to create. All right, so as I trust. So please let's open our code editor. If you're using any code editor, open the code editor to this particular folder I just created. Are we together? If you are following, just put on the group that you are following. Confirm that you have opened, if you have created the folder and you have opened that folder in your code editor. Please confirm on the group. If you're on YouTube, confirm. Okay. I can see someone posting on YouTube that is asking that what did I say front end developer was. Okay. So I was breaking while I'm waiting for others to turn up their code editor. Let me respond to Josiah Witness. Yeah, I was breaking web designs into two phases. There's people that handle UI UX, that are professional UI UX, that has their role. And then there's front end developers. Front end developer is the one that brings the designs into development. So that's what I just said about front end developers. So those people that wrote that, we'll still get to that part in this course of, so you understand better when we get to that part. Okay, so I want to confirm on the group that I've created a code, I've opened my code editor so that we can go. On YouTube, I want to see more of our reactions too on YouTube. Okay, all right, so now, so what I was explaining earlier, I said there are standards to things. So on web, if you are creating your own page, we always like that our own page is called index because if it's indexed, it will be accessible. So we look at the effect of writing an index as home page and not making home page as index. All right. Okay. So please confirm to me that we are together, that we have opened our code editor, we have opened our folder. So on our code editor, let's create a file and label it index.html. index.html. Please let's confirm that you have created that file on the folder we create. Please let's confirm it. YouTube, I'm not seeing your message anymore. Last message I can see is from Peculiar. Okay, can you download VS Code? You don't have VS Code so that you also follow along. every system has code notepad. So you can do the simple thing and open a notepad. So let me show you what notepad is. Just go to your search for note. So to give you notepad. So notepad looks like this. So if you don't have VS Code, I think all these things was mentioned in the last class as an assignment to go and install. So by now you're supposed to already have it on your system. So but if you don't have it, no big issue. If you don't have it, no big issue. So just use code editor notepad for this class. So if you don't have it, so there is code notepad. But all this was mentioned in the last class for us to install it. So don't, because it's going to take time for you to set it up. So please just use your notepad if you don't have code editor installed. So use your notepad. So just the way you just use your notepad, you can just once you open your notepad, click on save. Once you save, it will ask you where you want to save it to. So you locate that folder you created. For me, I created my folder in my C drive. My own folder is in C drive. So if I go to C drive, I go to my WAMP server. So you can create your folder anywhere. But I just like my own stuff to be organized. So that's why I create them in this format. So I have market training, so you can see here. So I can create it here. So it can also be index dot. So you label it index dot html. So once it does that, it creates it for you and you saved. I've already created one, so it will not allow me to save it. So except I want to replace it, which is no for me. So me, I'm using VS Code for my own project, for my own work. So you can also use Notepad. Everybody should have Notepad. So let's move on. So please confirm for me that uh, you have already created the file, whether you're using VS Code or Notepad, so that we can move on. So okay, I can see, right click on it, okay. I can see, I have opened my folder. Okay, I can see Oyin Kansola Ibukun. Okay, all right, thank you. Any other person, please let us put it on so that we can move on. Please let's interact on the YouTube. Those of us that are on YouTube can see almost about 120 or close to 120 of us on YouTube. So please let's interact today. All right, so I've access to my file, I've done that. Thank you so much. All right, so once we have created that, so now we are going to look at last week. I think we are in a physical class now. I've told us to be coming to the board and be writing this because last week all this was explained to us in the last week class. So I expect us to already be. I expect us to already be up and running. All right. So uh, let's write the basic structure that was described last week for us. So if you can't remember it, you can just look at the screen, look at it, and write it. But currently, you're supposed to know how to write this offhand now. It was described to us last week. So let's write this. Okay, is my screen too? If you can't see my VS Code, let me know so I can increase the font size. How do we zoom in? Control plus right here. So if it is better, let me know. Can you see my screen? Please let's put a comment if you can see my screen. If it's better, if the zoom in is better. I think it should be better now. I want to believe it's better. Yeah, thank you, Pius. Say yes, it's better. Okay. Now. So, all right, so let's continue. So, I want to believe that everybody has written these structures. You should be able to write it offhand as it is right now. Okay. So, so if you look at this structure now, you see, it say HTML doc type. All right. So, and all these things, okay, you said no, dy, you said no, sir. What are you objecting? You can't see my screen. Please let be explicit. No, sir, I can't see your screen. No, sir, I've not opened the file. If it's no, sir, I can't see my screen. Let me YouTube. Okay, I can see response from YouTube is tiny in YouTube. So let me maximize it again and let's see if it is going to be okay. I think it should be okay. Please let's confirm if it's okay. No, sir, I haven't written the VS code on my notepad. I haven't written the code on my notepad. Oh yeah, please. All right, I can see some a thumbs up from some saying it's okay. All right. So, Mr. DY, please just follow along and write the code on your notepad. Thank you. I think it's better now. Go on YouTube too. All right. So let's move on. So, Mr. DY, please try to write the note on your notepad if you are using notepad. Just search for notepad. Search for notepad. Search for notepad. All right, Mr. Adiwa, I'm waiting for your response. Have you seen it? And all others have not seen how to use Notepad. So let me explain how to use Notepad again. So search for Notepad on your search. Search for Notepad. So search for Notepad. Hello, have you searched for your Notepad? So search for. All right. So search for Notepad. So to search for Notepad, Mr. DY, go to your search button here. Can you see my cursor? So go to your search button. Type Notepad. Except you are not using window. Except you are not using window, Mr. DY. So search for Notepad, then it brings up Notepad. Once it brings up Notepad, then you click on Control S to save or you use the icon to save it. So this is Notepad, Mr. DY. I want everybody to follow along with this class because it's okay. Not a problem, Mr. DY. Not a problem. It's just how many line of code? 13 line of code. All right, so just dot type. And okay, let me drop it on the chat to make us faster. So I've dropped it on the chat. Miriam is not. So I've dropped the code. So I've dropped the code on the I've dropped the code on the code chat. So please you can see it on the chat. I've dropped it so you can just copy and paste it on your own end. Okay. So please let us also copy and paste on YouTube for those that are on YouTube too. Let's copy and paste it for those that are on YouTube. All right. So moderator, please copy and paste on those that are on YouTube. All right. So I've dropped the code so it should be faster for everyone. Okay. All right. So on the doc type, so now what this doc type does is that it's first there are readers. So we have UTF. If you have noticed that when you are looking at documents, there are UTF readers. So we have UTF. So these are UTF 8. UTF 8, there are some standards. All those UTF that I used to see on documents, they are things that help readers to read it. So this doc type is referencing that this script that is written is an HTML tag. That's what the doc type is. Also, this doc type is also used to specify that the page starts from here. Like the document starts from here too. Some browser use it. So these are we're already going to accessibility of how devices use our website too. So that doc type enables so many things. So That's why it's always been in our code. So then we have HTML. So everything is wrapped around HTML. You can see. Let me indent this code. It's not indented. Okay. So you can see everything is wrapped around HTML. Okay. So the next thing is title. So you see my website. That is title. So it's wrapped around title. I think all this tag was explained last week. So I will not go into deep. What we want to do is how to design websites. So let me be fast because our time is almost gone. So then we now have the body where we put. So now, if you go to your site now, so let's go to our site. So how can I locate my site? So go back to the folder. Go back to the folder. I want you to be a developer, not a user. So go back to the folder. Just right click on the site you just create. Then open with any of your favorite browsers. So I'm just going to open with the Chrome just once. Okay. Okay. So if you come to the browser now, you can see that our website is alive. So please, let's try to open our website on our browser, everyone. So if you can open your site on the browser, say, yes, I can see my site on my browser, please, so that I can move on from there. So please, I want to see our interactions. We are about 35, at least, nothing less than 20, 15 of us should be coding live with me. So also I will reinstate it again. Anytime you are coming for web design class, come along with your yes, thank you, Oyinkan Sola. Yeah, I can see that you have opened it on your browser. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's come along with our system prepared because we're going to be coding live because this is a training. It's not a lecture forum. This is where we do and we review. Okay. All right. So, so if you can see now, if you notice on the top of this browser, you can see my website. So this my website is because of I wrap my code around title. So anytime you wrap anything around title, it's going to use it as the title of that site. Okay. So if you look at the site, you can look at the H tag that I use. It shows my H tags. Make it bolder and shows. So you can see how it display. All right. So I want us to put on the group. If this is your first time of writing, and I know we have gurus that are here, so they have gone beyond this. But I want those people that this is their first time of writing a website because this is the basic of website. If you can write this, congratulations, you're already coming to the world of professional web development. I can see someone write, I have no problem. I don't know if I can help. I kind of more advanced. It is on PHP my admin. Okay, we are still going to touch that. Not a problem. Worry Bay. Please let's be using right name so that I can address you professionally. You don't use Worry Bay. Okay, right. Please just use the right name so that I can be addressing us professionally. All right. So I want to believe that the Worry Babe is a female. So you can reach out to the support team. So the support team will direct you appropriately. Reach out to Mark Techie support team. They will direct you appropriately on the question you have about PHP my admin. Okay. All right. So for us, if this is our first time of writing, so I want to celebrate with you. So you can see DY. So this is my first time, sir, of creating a website. All right. That's good. DY. Any other person? This is our first time of writing. Oh, in fact, writing this, you're already becoming a professional and web developer. So if this is your first time, please another person, another person, another person. Is your DY that was first time? All right, Pius, thank you so much. You can see Pius, this is your first time of writing at least even a script on a website. So this is your first time. Adeda Dolapo, yes, you are welcome to becoming your journey towards a professional web developer. Welcome to your journey. All right, and worry baby, I asked for the support team member. Please follow on the group. You get the support team members. Follow on the Telegram channel, on the WhatsApp channel. You get the WhatsApp or ask any of the admins. All right, I can see so many people already raising interacting, and this is your first time of writing at least even a design on web. So that is a very, very great steps to take. This is where every great developer start from. The person that wrote Facebook, this is how he started coding from the beginning. And this is what he started writing. Again, the idea of writing Facebook and the rest. All of them, this is where they started from. So welcome to the journey of what great men started from. I welcome you very much. I can see you, Dorib, Nafisat. I can see you, Salaudin. Yeah, you are welcome. This is your first time you are welcome. That's great. Okay, so now we're going to move a step further. I'm going to write a script. So let's go back to our folder again. Let's go back to our folder. So currently we have one file on our folder. Everybody will have one file. So now let's come back to our editor. So if you are using Notepad, now issue, open your Notepad back, just create a new page. So if you are using Notepad, so you can see my Notepad is untitled, so it's a new page. So click on, so let me, for those that is using Notepad, let me use it to create a CSS. So on my presentations, I think we are so now we are on basics of styling. All right, so the next thing on the starter is basics of styling. So let's look at how styling works. So let's go to back to our folder. Everybody go back to your folder. So if you are using Notepad, open your Notepad back. If you are using VS Code, open your VS Code back. So if you are using VS Code, just click on this file and click on create a style. So title it style.css. That's for those using VS Code, style.css. So let me delete it because I want to create it from Notepad for those that is joining that is using Notepad. Okay, so let me go back to my Notepad. So I'll just open a Notepad, a new Notepad, then click on the file icon, click on save. So it's bring the window pop up for you to save. So you look for your folder. So me, I'm inside. It's just for organizing purpose. I usually organize on my file so that I can easily locate it. If not, I can put it anywhere. Okay, smart tech training. So I have it. So I want to name it as style.css. .css. If you don't put it, it won't work. Then I save it. Okay, so I'll go back to VS Code because that's where I want to write. So you see, it's coming up on VS Code. Okay, so I'm going to drop the code snippets too. All this was shared in last class. All this was shared if you have attended the last class Saturday. So please don't miss any class. If you miss any class, you are riding on the previous class. So if you miss any class, you have missed out. So please don't miss any class because we are going to be riding on the next what we did in last class for this class. So I'm going to share this code because time is already running up. So let me share it. Please let's share this code on Zoom too, on YouTube too. Let's share this code. I've shared it on Zoom so I can be fast and wrap the class up. Let's share the code on Zoom too, on YouTube rather. So let's share the code on YouTube. Let's share the code on YouTube. I can see my site, so I can see people reacting on YouTube. I can see Adedoyin, Musrat. Yes, please. I can't find my site. I can't find my site. So if you can't find your site, Musrat, can you find your file? If you can find your file, go to and locate your file. So just find your file. Look at where you save your file. I know you should be experienced in using Windows. I want to believe you are using Windows OS. So you just look for your file. Once you look for your file, Musrat on YouTube. Once you look for your file, you just right click. So you are opening your index file. So right click on it, then open with any browser. Open with any browser, your page should load. Musrat. Okay, so Musrat, please reach out to support. Reach out to support that will direct you appropriately on what to do if you want to reach out to anybody. So reach out to support. Support will direct you on what to do. All right, so I can proceed. Please let's share the CSS code on YouTube. Moderator, please share the CSS code I just copied on. I just pasted on Zoom on YouTube too. Yeah, please let's share this. So please, I want to believe that you create your style sheet file. So if you have created your style sheet, say yes, I've created my style sheet file. Please put it on the chat. I've created my style sheet. I want to see the response on Zoom, on YouTube. Please let's respond. Please let's respond. Yes, I've created my style sheet file. Please let's respond. I'm waiting for a response. Yes, I've created my style sheet file. Please let's respond. Or they pasted the snippet code on YouTube already. So I've not seen response of people. Please, are we still with me? Please, let's respond. Have you created the style sheet file? Just put on the chat. Yes, I've created the style sheet file. So just copy as I paste it. Just copy as I paste it. Just copy as I paste it. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you, Ibitokun. Oyinkansola, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, I can see that you have created your site sheet. Victor Olamide, yes. Ayomide, yes, I've created it. Thank you, Victor. And Mr. DY, I've seen you too. Yeah, well done. Okay. So now let's look at interaction. So I want to believe that last week all this was taught. So, okay, I would have asked that how can we incorporate? So, a simple task based on last week, I want to write on last week. So, I want you to go and link this CSS style. So, I want to give us a minute to link it while I'm linking my own. So, please link it on your hand while you watch how I link my HTML files and my style sheets together. Last week was taught how to link. So, please link it on your hand if you can link it. So, if you can't link it, just look up how it is being linked. So, you type in link, simple as everything, type in link. So, if you are using if you are using code editor, it makes it faster. But if you are not using code editor, you have to link it yourself. So for those using code editor, you might not have options for all these things. So to link it, you go to your header files. So I want you to type this. You go to your header file below your below your below your title, you link it together. That's how to link your style sheets together. So we are doing external linking. All this was explained in the last class. All this was actually explained in the last class. So if you have linked yours, say yes, I've linked it. So now let's go back to our website. So I'm going to open this site so that we'll see the difference. So, all right, so this is, if I refresh this page, we're going to be seeing this new design. So this was the previous page before we link our style sheets, okay? But now when we link our style sheet, can we see what we are now seeing now? More beauty. So please, all right, those of you that are using Notepad, let me open it. Let me open it on Notepad. So it's the same thing. Just if you are using Notepad, still the same thing. You just link this on Notepad so that you see the same thing. So you see the same code. Notepad, choose. Notepad. Okay, Notepad, yeah. So if you are using Notepad, so this is my Notepad. This is your Notepad. So you just write this line of code. This one I liked it. I know Notepad is. Can we see the Notepad? I trust we can see the Notepad. All right, so you just paste this line of code to link it. Once you paste this line of code, it will be linked automatically. So far, they are in the same folder. The HTML, index.html and style.css should be in the same folder, mind you. Then you write this code on the header. You can see the tag header. Then I write link, ref, and rest. So it should be on the header. So please let it be on the header. So please do I confirm that you have linked it and you can see your beautiful site. So please let's confirm that our style sheet is loading. Let's confirm that our style sheet is loading so we can see our site. Our header is now painted blue and our it is not centralized. Please let's confirm. Please let's confirm. Let's put it on the chat. YouTube, let's confirm. Let's confirm. Yes, I can see Gmon. Say yes, I've created on YouTube. Yes, I've created my style sheet. Please let's confirm it's loading now. Let's confirm if it is loading. So if you do as instructed, it should be loading your color, it should be loading everything on your end. Please let's confirm. I'm not seeing us confirming. Are we still doing it? Let me give us some time to do it and confirm. Hello, please let's try to confirm. Please let's try to confirm if we are there. All right, I'm waiting for our confirmations. I'm waiting for our confirmations. We'll still have some little more things to cover before we call it a wrap for today. Hello, class. Are we having challenge in linking it? If you're having challenge, please reach out so I will explain further. Please, if you're having challenge, please reach out so that I will explain further. Hello, I can't see our interaction anymore. Please, let's confirm. Let's confirm. Hello, can we hear me? Okay. All right. So, okay. All right. All right. So, I'm going to take it. So, the thing is that debugging. So, we are welcome to the world of being a software developer. You learn how to debug your code. So, what I'm going to do for those of you having challenge in linking now, uh, we are going to. Um, I'm going to retrace my steps for you for the last time, but I'm not going to wait for because our time is fast spent. So what you just do is that you learn how to debug yourself. So let me go back to my folder. So the first thing first is that you need to confirm that on your folder you have index.html. That's the first thing you need to confirm. Then you have CSS, style.css. Ensure the name is correct. Style is well spelled. Style.css. Confirm this. Those of you guys having challenge in linking. So confirm this two is correct. So once this two is correct, perfect. All right. So once this two is correct, perfect. You have your index.html, your style sheet, your style.css. Confirm they are correct. Okay, and they are in the same folder. So please check your folder and confirm they are correct. So once that is this, come back to your code and write link. It should be in a tag. I think I dropped it on the group, so let me just drop it in the chat. Maybe it might be because you spelled something wrong. So uh, please and please, if you spell something wrong, check. On YouTube, please check. So it's link in a tag, ref, ref, star sheet, then href equals to site sheet.css. Please confirm this if it is correct. So if that is correct and they are in the same file, if you come back to your site, if you come back to your browser and you refresh, you should be seeing this. You should be seeing welcome, not this again. This was the previous what we are coming from. So this is what it's supposed to be saying now. Okay, so please, if you are not getting it, maybe we'll have if you are not getting this class, we'll have a breakout, a woody on this. So what will happen is that we are going to generate a form. So we are going to form a woody. So I think for the graphics design we are about 300 thereabouts. So we are going to form a woody. So on Friday by Monday, a woody is going to be dropped for everyone. You are going to see your group. So we are going to have a team lead for that group. So I'm going to give a team lead for each of those groups. So it's going to be a random selection. So if whether you know it or not, you can be the group team lead for that group. So the team lead will reach out to when you guys will have the meeting. So this class, you're going to watch the video and try to do it yourself. So the group is going to be available by Monday. The 300 or more than 300 or 400 are still counting. So everybody is going to be in a group of 10 by Monday. So those group of 10 will have a team lead. So that group is you guys are expected to meet yourself physically and virtually before next class Saturday. At least 3 times before next class Saturday and practice this I will explain. And the rest those 10 groups. All right. So so if you can see, let me proceed. Is this class for web developer or graphics class? No. It's for web developer. All right, no one have answered you. Sir, I can't see the link you said you paste here. I pasted it up, so let me paste it again. I pasted it. Direct message. Yeah, I pasted it again. Please check. I pasted it. Yeah, it's for web. This class is for web design, not for graphic design. Okay. And I said to be either be in graphics or web. You can't be in the two. Okay. All right. So let's proceed. So now, okay. principle of UI/UX design. All right, so we are rounding up the class very soon. Consistencies, uniforms, all these are general information for us to get across to. So these are principles that once you are doing your graphics, the UI/UX design, you expect to familiarize yourself more with minimalistic, clarity, navigation, all those things. Yeah. Yeah. So what are the tools used in wireframing? So what are the tools used in wireframing? So these are the tools you can use in wireframing: Figma, Adobe XD, Sketchpad. Then we have the wireframing, a software called wireframing itself. Okay, so what is mobile first design? Okay, what is mobile first design? All right, so it is well explanatory. People use this more of your website than desktop, and then so that's why you must make it more of priority. Mobile must be more of your priority while you are developing. You must ensure that mobile is your priority while you are developing. Then your basic command for mobile responsiveness is at media. So you can see that is your that's your go-to. There's no web developer that want to develop in this age. So far you want to develop, you must know how to use this particular snippets of code I just put under. It must be something that if you are sleeping, once they wake you up, you must be able to know what this particular snippets of code that they just put under and it does. It helps you greatly in responsive design. All right, so theories of colors. For those that want to go into core design, these are theories of colors. So color psychologies. So once you put, you can see the one I put in red, it requires attentions. So when you are designing a website and you put something in red, it means it requires your attentions. Blue, this kind of stuff, like those general stuff. Green require talks about agri, finance, and the rest, those kind of stuff, and their uses. Okay. So what are the components and patterns for design? So when you want to design, the major thing is navigation menu. You have tab, you have modal, you have carousels. You know, some of the site I stay area on shows us this thing. We have button, we have forms, we have notification, we have alerts. Those are the kind of things that you are expected to. These are the major components of websites. When you are designing a website, these are the major components you design websites. Thank you. So how to design accessibility in web development. Like I said, this particular topic is a course on its own in some university. So please, I think the Google form for today's attendance is shared. Please, let's try to fill the form now. Please, let's try to fill the form now. All right, so like I said, this accessibility is a course that people go to university to go and study. It's a course on its own. So we have a organization that manages this accessibility. They are called WCAG. So you can research about them. WCAG, they have a software. So outside this class, you can just go and search for WCAG. All your software, go and put their link. They have a software tester. They will analyze the site for you, how accessible that site is. So sometimes you might work for some organization, right? And those organizations, they will tell you that you must meet about 70% of WCAG standard. So what they'll just do is that when you are done, they will copy the link of your website and pass it on their software tester, and it will read the site for them and it will rate it. So most of our sites, at least 70-60% is okay. For a beginner, you can still be doing 30-40, it's still okay as a beginner. But for a corporate organization, they usually require a high standard of 70-60% to pass WCAG standard. And so for you to pass their standard, you go and read all their documentation. So it's a very, very, like I said, some people go to just to go and study this particular thing in school for it because it's a whole lot. So other things that you should need to know about, things that you need to know about your accessibility when you are designing your website. You know, image, sometimes image does not display. So always use your alt text. So in case image does not display, so that your site does not look scanty, use alt text. Then semantics. Semantics also help too. Look at the design we design. I know we use H tag for some, we use P tag for some, we use H1, H2, all those. So that those are semantics in web designing. So ensure that your semantics are okay when you are looking at accessibility in web design. Then use proper color contrast. So when you are designing, don't go and put when something is require attention, go and put another color, maybe thing that does not invite people to it. They will not know that you are inviting them to that place. So these are the things you look at when you want to design accessibility in website. You go and study WCAG standard. In fact, you study that one, that is all for accessibility. So the little things that you can just, if you don't know, if, I won't advise you as a beginner to go and do all those things now. But as a beginner, you can look at the remaining three, which is semantics, use we're supposed to use H tag, use H tag properly. As a beginner, look at color contrast, look at use of alt text for image. But if you want to go into the likes of, in fact, even some advanced developer has not finished doing this WCAG standard. So please, you can just go and check them out. For those of you that want to build career in web development. Okay. All right. So 15 slides. All right. So infographics. So it's not possible that all your design should be text, image, text, image, text, image. It's not possible. There are sometimes that, for instance, if you look at the last slide I'm coming from, you can see this one talks about, this graph already talks about color, all those kind of colors, scissors, this one called pen, the way you pen something down, the rest. So infographics is very, very important in web design. All those your user icon, all those things, is very, very important. So the major place you can get infograph is, like I said, there are so many things. So there are going to be resources to check. But in this place, we are looking at infographics that you can design. So infographics you can design, you can use Clipboard to design infographics for yourself. You can use Adobe Illustrator to design infographics yourself. Then you can use Dreamweaver to design infographics for yourself. So you can look at all these things, how to use them later on. But in this course, we are looking at development, not how to use tools and the rest. But it's just for you to know how to use tools and the rest. All right. Okay, so this brought us to the uh, concluding part of today's class. So, above all, no matter what you want to do as a developer, whether you are coming in new, whether you are a professional already, ensure that your design is simple and intuitive. Don't go and design something that is complex, that people does not understand. Then when you are designing, prioritize two things: performance and responsiveness. Performance in terms of loading times, when your site is loading, how your site is loading. Prioritize it. Let it be your priority, and then the responsiveness. Let it be mobile responsive. Let it be device responsive. Prioritize it in your development. Then always conduct user tests and feedback. When you design, don't go and be thinking, don't go and be thinking on top of the world. Share your link to other people to review it for you, to talk to you that, oh, you can do this better, you can do that better. So share it. Then the most important thing is that you must stay updated with trend, which brings me back to this particular slide. I see this Dreamweaver as at 2005. If you know Dreamweaver, if you don't know Dreamweaver, you can't work in Yahoo. You know, Yahoo is a company. Yahoo Mail is a company. There's Beanscape. There is okay, Google are just coming up those years. Which other big companies? So if you don't know Dreamweaver, you can't work in all these companies, because those are the biggest tech companies there. Yahoo, Beanscape, which other one? Salesforce, and Salesforce. These are the biggest companies then before Google start coming in. So if you don't know Dreamweaver as at that time, you can't work in these companies. But today, nobody even know anything about Dreamweaver anymore. So that is why you must keep yourself updated if you want to come into the world of development. So many things, just you might say you are doing these tools today, tomorrow it's gone. So keep yourself updated, and updated. Very, very important. Thank you so much for this class. And it's the wrap. All right, moderator.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Joshua. Do we have any questions? For those of us that are saying the link is not working, please check your network. Responses are coming in. Please check your network. So do we have any questions? If you have any question, you can drop it in the chat or kindly raise your hand if you want to speak. Do we have any questions? Okay, so while we wait for questions, let's keep the attendance coming in. Let's keep the attendance coming in. So you can always rewatch the videos for those complaining that the instructor was too fast. So you might not likely get everything from this class, so you might have to calm down and rewatch the YouTube video. So the links are always sent after every live class. So just rewatch the video and I'm sure you get it. And then if you started taking courses on the MarkTechie platform, then you should be familiar with some of these things too. Okay, let's keep the attendance coming while we still await questions. Mr. Joshua, you have a question?
What's the question?
He said, how do we assess the group you are going to divide us into? And are we to share what we do within ourselves?
Okay, so the form, the it's going to be available by Monday. So you are going to see your name in each group. So you just once the document is available, you check through and get yourself. So what will happen is that on the form, so hopefully I pray that all of you get yourself on board before Monday. Maybe we'll just shift to Tuesdays because there's a section for onboarding again on Monday. There's a class for onboarding. Those of us are still having challenge. So what will be on the onboarding form is the contact email so you guys can contact yourself. So on on your onboarding, maybe on your onboarding to MarkTechie, please try to wrap your onboarding up before Monday. So there's going to be a section where you update your phone numbers, all those things. So in the form that's going to be divided, you are going to see your name, phone numbers, so you can contact each other and you can create means of communication with each other, and then so that's how it's going to. Does that answer the question? Hello.
Does it answer your question? The person that asked. Then another person is asking for where the link will be dropped. Is it on Telegram?
And on all the communication platform, on Telegram, on WhatsApp. Yes.
So for those of you that are not able to access the attendance link, you can change your network. There is something wrong with your network because responses are coming in. So it's not from us. Victor, you said you have a question. Mr. Victor, you can just raise up your hand. Is there any material for this course? Yes, there are materials for this course. So most of the materials are on the MarkTechie platform. So once you register and log in, you'll be able to access all those materials. And then Materials from the live sessions will also be shared after the live class. Mr. Victor, you have a question?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Yeah, good morning, sir. Thank you for the session. It was nice. So, I want to confirm for the materials we'll be using for the course for the program. Is it complete? Because I've been onboarded. I've been able to register on the platform, and I noticed the materials they are just limited. They are the basic materials that we need. Like I thought we are supposed to have the complete material for the course, or that's yet to be done yet. That's what I want to ask. Because I just saw HTML, CSS, even for the JavaScript, I didn't see any material on it. So I want to confirm if it's only for my own end or it's general.
Okay, the material on the platform currently is not the LinkedIn, so you're having access per as you move in the class. So there's still going to be more material dropped on the platform. And once it's done, you'll be notified on the group and how to interact with it. Yes. Is there another question? If you have questions, just raise up your hand. You'll be
So for
unmuted.
questions concerning MacTechie, there will be a live session on Monday where all your questions concerning MacTechie will be addressed. We are expecting questions concerning this live class as concerning web design and UI UX. But if you have questions concerning MacTechie, please join the live session on Monday. Thank you. So are there any more questions related to web design and UI UX? So please, let's not forget to fill out the form. So if there are no more questions, we can end the session. So I'd like to appreciate everyone for taking their time to attend the live session. So our next live session will be on Saturday, or we don't know about, maybe we'll communicate that to you. So on when the next live session will be, but tentatively to be on Saturday, next week Saturday. So I'd like to thank you all for coming and do have a wonderful weekend.
The recording has stopped.